Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing some low-cost, cheap hunting, which I know a lot of you guys are probably like, is that even possible, Serial? How can that be possible? I'm too high of a level for that to be possible. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so most of us, when we're going out hunting or anything like that, we're using the best gear that we can get because that's how we get the best skill gains, and that's how we sort of make the magic happen, right? Well, I've got news for you folks. You don't need to go out with the best gear, but you still can get those quality skill gains. So what we're talking about here is I'm going to be switching over to a profession that I rarely use, if ever. We're going to be doing some Mind Force. So I've got a lacerating attack nanochip 1 and a combustive attack nanochip 1. And basically what we're going to be doing today is some low-cost hunting. So here's the thing, right? A lot of people in Entropia Universe, they know Entropia Universe is a real cash economy game. And what this means is if you want to play Entropia Universe, you need to put in real money, and it does get expensive as you get higher and higher in skills. And this is sort of, classic serial overdrive hunt, but we're doing it low cost. I'm not going to go over the budget or anything like that, but yeah, basically Mind Force is one of those skills that I never really sort of did much work with. And there's a lot of low-level missions that I never really did any work with, and there's reasoning behind that, right? So basically, my avatar, I started this game in like 2006, which some of you guys probably weren't even born yet. Well, no, you'd be, what, 12? No, 14? Wow. Yeah, some of you guys probably weren't even born when I started Entropia Universe. Jesus Christ, I'm old. But yeah, basically, so since it was so long ago, there weren't missions, right? Like, the concept of missions did exist in video games. It just didn't exist in this world. And back then, it was only Calypso. So it was, Entropia Universe, but the universe consisted of one world. And now it's more of a universe. It used to be called Planet Entropia, PE, so things changed. But anyways, basically since back in the day, I have not really been doing any low-level missions because, I got past that point. But some skills I haven't been skilling up. So traditionally what I was doing is I was trading and skilling up rifle and mining. So I was just sitting out, I was mining, specifically I used to just mine end matter, now I mine ore and end matter. That was back when you had two different finders to do each. But, yeah, back in the day, that was all I was doing, and now I've progressed past that. So what's happening here is, when I go out for a hunt in Entropia Universe, what I like to do is save a lot of the lower-level stuff that I don't have much skill in. So right here, these two chips, this lacerating attack nanochip and this combustive attack nanochip, both of them were level 1 nanochips or level 1 Mind Force chips, which, I thought, hey, Mind Force, that's something I need to skill up. I put those in my inventory, and I sort of put it on the back burner. And recently I've been spending a lot of PEDs, and I figured it was time to sort of take it easy. So what I did is I brought out those Mind Force chips, and I'm using them right now. So yeah, this is basically like one of the cheaper ways that you can sort of play the game and keep skilling without really spending a ton of money. The fact that I'm still seeing these big sort of green bursts here, the fact that I'm still getting like 0.3 skill gains, 1.7 skill gains, really makes me feel good about my progress because I look at my skills and everything like that, and it's like, okay, Serial, you're progressing. That's good. But then I look at my PED card, and it's like, hey, Serial, you're not spending much money at all. That's good too. And here you can see I also got some missions. So what I did here, basically, I came into Camp Phoenix. There was a Snabble Snot hunting mission that I could get from a NPC. So I grabbed both of those. There's one for Snabble Snot males, 180 kills I need, and then there's one for Snabble Snot's females that requires me to get 90 kills. I've got my rank here for the Codex, and basically I'm just skilling all these things up and going through it as we go. There are going to be some bonuses too you get, right? So like, here's one of the things, and a lot of people forget this when they're skilling things up. You focus on what you want to be, right? Like, I want to do rifle, so my main focus, my main spend should be just skilling up that rifle skill. But then it's so easy to forget that the game really isn't that expensive of a game. A lot of people are always telling me, like, Serial, it costs so much to play Entropia Universe. And it's like, well, it only costs that much because you're using the best gear you can use. And I get that's how most MMOs work, but that's not necessarily how Entropia Universe is meant to be played. And yeah, you can see right here, I'm getting huge skill gains without playing it like that. And we're still getting some cool levels. So this is level 4, cryogenic hit profession. So you can see I'm not too skilled when it comes to Mind Force, but it is what it is, right? And even with the skill gains here, I know I was I was hoping to get my total skill points up to sort of 6 digits this year, but some stuff got in the way for sure, so I'm not really sure if I'll be able to do that anymore, but I still want to get as close as possible, and a good way to do that is just skilling up some stuff that you don't really have many skills in. So skill gains come faster when you're newer. That's why some of you guys who are new players are probably going to see huge skill gains, and then you look at me and I'm spending way more and I'm getting less. So basically the way skill gains work is it gets exponentially harder as you go. I think there is a cap to the exponentialness of everything. It used to be 100. Like you could get to, basically I think going up to a level 100, it was just smaller and smaller skill gains, and it was almost impossible to get past that. Obviously at this point it's been moved on and it's a little bit easier to get skills, which is, it's nice for people who are starting the game now. It's not so nice for people like me who skilled mostly when it was super hard to get those gains. But it's definitely nice for new players. It gives them a more of a sense of progress, which I definitely like and I definitely approve of. But yeah, it takes more and more PEDs to get skill gains. And the way skill gains work, for those of you guys who don't know, is generally skill gains are given based on the PED spent. And since it grows exponentially, when you're spending smaller amounts and you don't have as many skills, you're going to see some pretty beefy skill gains compared to what you're going to be getting when you're spending more and you have more skills. So basically, if I'm using my... so I've got I think it's like an LR25 or an LR30. If I'm using one of those guns, I'm probably going to be getting something like 0.3 rifle and maybe 0.09 anatomy. And you can see right here when I'm using this chip that's not really spending anything at all, I'm getting way more skills. So let's see if we can get a skill gain here just to drive that point home. So yeah, you can see right there, 0.79 cryogenic skill, and I'm not really spending anything at all. I've got 1,600 shots. I've only got about 30 PEDs of ammo, so you can tell that's quite a bit that I've got there. And yeah, if I pull out my normal gun, that's going to be gone. I'm going to go through it in no time whatsoever. I'll stay away from these guys. I don't want to start stealing their mops. And yeah, the nice thing here is too, I can go out, I can be unarmored. I don't really need to worry about anything. This is a nice, easy sort of hunting run that I'm doing here. I just go out, I hit F, I kill what I see, and I see what I get. And generally with Snabble Snots or anything like that, you're not going to be getting any crazy skills or you're not going to be getting any crazy gains, but it's still cool to see. Every now and then I'll loot an item. I found with lower level mobs too, items tend to be looted more often, but the item you're going to loot is probably going to be, do I even have it on me? I do not. I probably TT'd it or something. It's probably going to be like a Rubio or some gun like that if you're a higher level player, you're not really going to use. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get a Mind Force chip or something like that, and then you can use it. But yeah, it's always a great thing, and I think a lot of players, as they get bigger, more and more into the game, they forget the fact that you can go down. You just need to change up the weapons you're using. And these skills are going to carry over. At some point, I'm probably going to end up needing Mind Force, whether it's for a teleportation chip, regen, or something like that. And that's going to help. Also, you're noticing here, Serendipity, you've got Perception, you've got a lot of skills that are still going to cross over. And I don't know exactly. The skill gains are going to be less in those because you're spending less. But it's still a good way just to keep skilling up and keep things going without spending too much. So that's, if you're looking to play Entropia Universe cheap, and I know a lot of people are, this is how you do it. You just keep skilling up in things that you just aren't that experienced in. You'll be a much more well-rounded avatar, and to be honest, that's one of the things I wish I did. So my rifle damage and hit are way different from each other, which creates some problems when it comes to SIB and everything like that. And the reason behind that is because I just skilled up rifle. That was all I focused in. And if you just skill up rifle or you just skill up pistol, your hit is going to be much, much higher than your range. Now that there's missions, you can sort of counteract that by skilling up certain missions so that you get more, I think it's damage than you get hit. And I said range, I meant damage. You get more damage than you get hit. So you just focus on damage skills. So it'd be for me, it would be more of anatomy, laser weapon, technology. I think there's aim and range damage or inflict range damage, whatever it is. You can focus on those, and that's going to help you out too. But yeah, the moral of the story basically is it's good to change things up. And if you're looking at something like melee, that's even better because that's going to help you out by giving you more HP. If you do something with melee, like swords or power fist or anything like that, you're going to get way more, you're going to see way more beneficial gains. That's going to really increase your HP, which is good because then you can take more damage. It's going to really increase your strength so you can carry more, and yeah, it's just overall you can't lose. So yeah, I'd recommend switching it up. And if the game's getting a little too expensive for you, or you've got time in between deposits or deed withdrawals or whatever it is, right? So for me, basically what I've been doing is I've been running through, like, I've been playing a little bit sort of just to cool down at the end of the night, like just relax. I've been doing a lot of codex missions, or not codex missions. I've been doing a lot of my iron missions because those are going to be ending. So I decided, like, all right, let's just power through as many of these as I can. I got through a good deal of them, and at this point, just I'm so low on PEDs, it doesn't really make sense for me to keep going on the iron missions because I know I'm not going to be able to complete any of them. So that was when I looked at everything I had, and it's like, oh, I've got these chips, I've got everything like that, and I should just use them. I looted these chips who knows how long ago, and I just figured, like, hey, it's time to run through these. And the great thing is they take universal ammo. That was something I actually didn't know. So yeah, these chips are going to take universal ammo, which means that you can, I don't want to be taking these guys because they're a little too high level for me, or for my chip at least. Or actually, maybe the combustion chip will work. Should we try it out? Let's try it out. I always like to just try to go a little bit harder. So let's equip this thing. And this chip actually has quite the range on it. So you can see now we're probably not gonna be able to do this. I might have to just pull out my big gun and just get a quick hit on this. Also, you can see right there, because this chip does more damage, instantly my ammo amount dropped. So that just shows you the combustion chip uses way more sort of oomph than that other chip that I've got. And you know what? These things are hitting me pretty hard. I'm just going to use my LR25 real quick and get that kill. There we go. Ooh, we got some big wig boards. Anyways, let's switch back here and let's keep going on these snabble snots because they're much cheaper. It's much easier. And you can see, we got an alpha on us. That's no good. Is this thing going to kill me? All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to heal up real quick. So we'll heal up. I'm going to pull out my big gun, take this guy out, and then we're going to move back to Snabble Snots because this is not what I wanted to do. This video is not about serial overdrive taking on higher level mobs or even somewhat high level mobs. Like, this is a level 8. It's an alpha, but it's not crazy hard to take on. Like, that was a pretty easy kill, but what we want to be doing is taking low cost mobs. So we're going to do that. And yeah, the nice thing about this too, the nice thing about Mind Force, if you're not a sweater or anything like that, is that you can use universal ammo for it. So rather than playing that markup on Mind Force or whatever this chip takes, what does it take actually? I don't even know. I've just been using synthetic Mind Essence. So rather than paying for synthetic Mind Essence, all you got to do is just use your universal ammo. It's way easier and it's way better if you're trying to save money. If you're a sweater or you're out there hunting and getting that stuff, then it's way worse for you because you're not getting such markup on it. So like diluted sweat or any sort of sweat just has like no markup to it anymore because essentially if you're, you essentially never need it because you can just use universal ammo when you're doing anything that's sort of like attack based or anything like that. I think if you're doing healing or I know for sure teleporting, you do need some Mind Force or Mind Essence. But that's about it, and you're not using those skills too much. So yeah, it got way cheaper to use these chips, and that's why it's a good time to use them. But yeah, basically went through the iron missions, did everything like that, and sort of done with that. I don't really have much left to do as far as that stuff goes. If you're new to the game, you won't have the iron missions, but those of you guys who've been playing for like a year or so, you probably have some iron missions. You want to get those completed because that time is coming up. And that's, it's going to be the last time that you can sort of get those double gains on skills. So for people who don't know, basically the way it worked is back in the day, Mindark had a different type of mission. They were called iron missions. And with these iron missions, you could get skills, right? Just like Codex missions. So Codex is like a better mission system. That came out, that replaced iron missions, but Mindark was cool about it, and they said, hey, for the next year, you can do Codex skill mission, or you can skill up your Codex and any iron missions you have left. So that's basically, you can double up on your skill gains, and who doesn't want to do that, right? So everybody's been doubling up, getting double the skills, and I think this is sort of the last chance you've got for that. So if you're looking to get a few more skills, sort of bump that up a little bit faster, this is your time to shine, folks. From my standpoint, iron missions never mattered that much. I was basically, the time when I was like hardcore grinding Entropia Universe was probably like 2006, 2007 to maybe like 2010, 2011. which is before missions or anything like that came about. After that, I was busy, like not busy, but I was playing other games, doing other stuff. I still play Entropia Universe. I still play it now, but I'm not grinding like I used to. Like I used to be putting in hours a day. Now it's more like hours a week, which it's still fun. It's still good to do. It just means that my I think with most people, at least with me, my interests tend to like fluctuate. So maybe for a little bit I'll be grinding hard on Entropia Universe, and I'll switch over to Rust or something like that. Well, back in the day, I think I was just grinding hard on Entropia Universe, and that was it. So, yeah, I used to be on all the time, but yeah, my skills don't quite reflect it because there are no missions or anything like that, and yeah, it definitely holds you back a little bit. But there were good things to be had from those times too. I used to like it. What I liked most about those times, and I think Entropia Universe is coming back. I'll probably make a video on this, but I think Entropia Universe is getting more and more users, which is really good to see, and I really do love the fact that that's happening. But I think back in the day, the way it used to work is like everybody would gather in more central places because we didn't have things like rookie chat, not trade chat, but we didn't have any sort of chats, right? You just had local and society. So when you wanted to trade an item, the way you do it is you could put it on auction. You'd go to a marketplace to talk to people and sell it. That would be in your like local chat, or you could sell it to your society in society chat. And there were only those like 3 chat rooms, and you had PMs and everything like that. But you needed a contact for that, right? So when people wanted to sell stuff, they just go hang out at Twin Peaks. And because everyone was there, a lot of players would come, everybody would chit chat, and like if you go to the oil rig, right? If you go to the oil rig right now, that is more like how it used to be in Twin Peaks, and it had more of that community feeling to it. So even though Entropia Universe right now is probably busier and has more players playing it than ever before, I'd say. And some people are going to disagree with me, but I really do think the player base has like grown pretty significantly since the old days. I just think you're not seeing it anymore because people don't have any reason to gather. Everybody's just chit-chatting and going off in rookie chat and all these different chats rather than like one central location. Because that's what it used to be. We'd all be hanging out at Twin Peaks, talking to each other, just shooting the shit, having fun, and there'd be no, there are no secondary chat rooms. Like I'd probably be on a couple hours a day at least, minimum back then. And a lot of my time would be spent hanging out at Twin Peaks and talking in society chat because I was trying to trade. So I'd be in Twin Peaks doing a little trading, talking in society chat, and then there came this great sort of technological breakthrough. They made trade chat, local chat, and society chat. So now you're talking in local, you're talking in society, and you're spamming the trade chat. It used to be trade chats would get spammed, trade chatter would get spammed to local. So it was a little harder to hold a conversation, but then they changed it up and got easier, and life was good. And now they've got all these different chat rooms, and I think, it's good because it means you can go out, you can play, you can talk to people and all that, which you couldn't do back in the day, but it did sort of destroy some of those communities, right? Like the Twin Peaks community, and I think societies are playing less of a part. Because your society, that used to be your global chat, and that's where all that chatter would happen. Ooh, look at that, we got a global. 5 PEDs, folks. Back when I was starting, 5 PEDs, that wasn't global. Didn't matter what you got it on, it wasn't global. That's why, to me, that never counts as a global. I see 5 PEDs, I'm like, psh, no, 50 or higher. That's a fake global right there. That's fake news. I don't believe in that. No, I do believe in fake news. I just don't believe that 5 PEDs is considered a global, at least not in my head, right? So I'm just going to keep going. And for those guys wondering too, like, am I going to come out positive on this hunt? From what I've done before, probably, because these hunts tend to be pretty low cost. And the thing is, if you look at my avatar, right, besides for the weird clothing choices, it's actually like I'm not taking any armor damage. I'm not really healing up at all. Like, everything's sort of all natural. This is a pretty low cost hunt right here. And even if you look at the efficiency of this chip, let's check it out. So if you look at the efficiency, 58.4, that's pretty standard for like a newbie weapon. You can get a little bit better with some stuff, but to be honest, my efficiency is probably a little bit better than most people hunting this mob. So my guess is that these loots are pretty decent. I might be losing a little bit here or there, but overall this is a pretty solid hunt. And there's not much overkill with this chip because it's a pretty low damage chip. So yeah, overall this is like a great way to do it. And you can see right here, look at that skill gains. They're just rolling in. My skills are bumping up constantly. It's good times. And I like it too because I do get more of a sense of progress when I do this stuff, and the progress isn't hidden behind like a dollar amount, right? Because that's one of the things that always bugs me, right? Like when I go out with that LR25 and I do a 50 PD hunt, it's like, well, I just lost $5, and now, you know, if that goes badly, it's sort of like, okay, I played for 20 minutes for the week and that's it, or maybe the month, okay? Like that really sucks. So yeah, you just change up your gear, you go a little bit lower level, you get some of these sort of old quests done that you haven't done, or you just skill up your Snabblesnot Codex. And you'll have about the same amount of fun, maybe a little less fun because you don't have that, like, I don't know, like if I'm hunting something a little bit higher level, I know that the global potential's higher, so there's a little bit more excitement there, but you get a lot of the same feels for way less cost and way less spend. And you can actually come out ahead with these things because Mindark doesn't mind giving you 100% on Snabblesnots because they know, like, that loot's not much. It doesn't really pay server costs. They're looking to get you to the next highest mob, right? But if you're just chilling out with this, they're probably it's probably a better end result for you, even though you're not going to be making as much or losing as much. Still good. I don't know. I'm going around in circles here. I hate to do that. This is a longer video, and I wanted to sort of keep this stuff going because I feel like it's been almost a week since it's been like 2 weeks now, I think, since I've recorded like a long form hunt or anything like that where I just sort of sit down and talk. And I want to make sure that my skills are still sort of up to date. There's been a lot of stuff sort of going on in the background and like Serial Overdrive's real life, so I've been busy with that. I think, yeah, I talked about it. I've got a dog and there's a bunch of other stuff going on too, but like just been swamped with everything, so I haven't been spending too much time playing or doing anything like YouTube related. I've got a few like videos in the backlogs that are shooting out right now, but this is definitely not in the background. I'm recording this 9th of August. So for those of you guys wondering, that's when I'm recording this. This is probably going to come out on the 10th, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty like straight to release type video. Cuz yeah, I like doing the longer stuff, and I think a lot of people like this. It's fun for me, right? Like when I'm doing like the videos that are helping people, I'm always like, I don't know if this is gonna help people. I don't know if this is good. There's a little bit more that goes into it. When I do one of these videos, it's just me sitting down and talking, and it's cathartic for me, I guess. And you know, hopefully you guys get something to listen to while you're playing Entropia Universe, and that helps you. But yeah, I don't know. I always look forward to the comments, right? Because it's more of a community, I guess. That's why I like it. It sounds stupid, I guess, because everybody's always like, oh, it's about forming a community, and that's one of the things I really do like about YouTube, right? Like if you've made it 23 minutes into this video, you're a part of the Serial Overdrive community, whether you like it or not. And now this is why people are gonna leave. Whether you like it or not, you're part of the Serial Overdrive community if you've made it this far. So officially, I'd like to say welcome if I haven't said that before. I'm Serial Overdrive. There's a Discord, there's Twitter, there's a lot of ways to talk to me. There's Twitch too, but yeah, I really do appreciate it. And it's always cool to just talk back and forth with you guys, and in the comments, everything goes, you know, buzzing, and see how you guys are doing, see what's going on. And I do remember names, like all the old names and Veal, and usually it's actually the profile pictures I remember better than the names. So if you guys change your profile pic, it's going to be very hard for me to remember you. But if you're like a frequent commenter and your profile pic stays the same, you know, I'll see it. Like a lot of you guys who are like OG, comment down below, because it'll be cool to hear from you guys, like how everything's going, and if you're still playing Entropia or what's going on with all that. But yeah, it's always good to hear from you guys, and it's sort of cool that I've got this like community that'll sit down and actually like talk with me about a game that we all sort of like to talk about. And I see you guys interacting with each other in the comments too, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and convert that ammo, just so you guys can see I'm not running out of ammo or coming anywhere close to it. But yeah, you can just run here all day, like doing Snabblesnots to getting your skills. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool when I do these videos because there's no sense of like, am I helping people? And the comments are different, right? Like when the how-to videos, I know that it helps people, so that's cool. There's a reward from that, right? Like there's that little bit of like serotonin or dopamine that you get from like, oh yeah, like someone really like, this video helped someone. They got to watch a 2-minute video and then get back in the game. But there's no real conversation there, right? Like most people, like my 100,000 view Rust beginner's guide, which is probably like the longest video I've got with the most views. And yeah, I think it's got like 2,000, 3,000 likes now. So like it's probably my most successful video. That one, like most of the people in that video, like they just come in for the video and then they're gone. So there's no real community, right? Like they aren't checking back in with me in a couple weeks to tell me how it went. I'd love if they did that. I'd love to know how it goes because I really do like playing Rust. It's a fun game. It can be toxic, but it's fun, right? So I'd love to hear back from them and let them know how it goes. But with Entropia Universe in these videos, it's cool because I can hear back from you guys, and you guys are like, oh yeah, like some of you guys are commenting. It's like I remember, you commented on the beginner guides, and then you commented later, and you're like, hey, I'm using the Apollo. Like, what's the next gun I should use? And it's like, okay, now I'm up to the AR Matrix or this or that, and then it's cool to see that progress and see that these guys are still sticking with it. You're still playing the game. I introduced you to the game, and you're still enjoying it, and that makes me happy. Every now and then, someone will comment that you introduced me to this game, and I lost my house because of it. And generally, I'm pretty sure you're trolls. I hope I haven't introduced anyone to this game that's cost them everything. Yeah, hopefully not. But it is what it is, right? There's people that like start playing World of Warcraft and they drop out of college. I actually had a roommate that did that. This was back in the day, but he was like super hard into World of Warcraft. Like me and my friends, we'd all be going out drinking. We're like, dude, you want to come with? And, no, I got my guild, or I think it's guild, yeah. My guild's raiding, and it's like, all right, like I can appreciate the dedication, but at the same time, dude, it's like you're in college for 4 years, and like then we're back into reality, and like right now we're living in the city, low cost, like everything's there, like everybody our age is going out to party. Like let's save the video games for later. At least that's how I felt, right? Some people are gonna vehemently disagree with me, but it's like let's just go out and have fun with our friends. But yeah, he ended up playing World of Warcraft, and somehow he ended up, like, that cost him more than not unhealthy drinking habit cost me, right? Because I got through with college. I've got my degree. I'm somewhat educated, I guess you could say. I think he dropped out after freshman year. Yeah, I think he went back though eventually and like did good. But man, I was like, geez, come on, man, like. It's a video game. Like you gotta focus on real life here. And like when I went to college, that was when I really stopped playing Entropia Universe for a huge amount of time because it was just I didn't have time for it. Right? Like on the weekends, it was like, all right, do I hang out with friends that all live literally next door to me, or do I play a video game with people all across the world? Now it's cool, whatever choice you made, no hate for me. But when I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I think it would be better just. Because that's the thing, you're never going to get that opportunity again in your life. Like, right now, I live in a nice building, super, like, great place. There's a lot of amenities I get that I didn't have in college, right? There's a lot of things I can do that I couldn't do in college. Like, if I wanted to go out and, like, sometimes I'll go out and just have dinner. That's, $60, right? Like, $60 for dinner. And it doesn't really faze me. In college, that would be like blowing through probably a week's worth of food money. Which would be obviously horrendous, mostly because that would impact my beer money, which, that was the untouchable stuff, right? If it comes down to it, when I'm in college, right, back old school Serial Overdrive, when it came down to it, right, it's like, oh, if we've got a budget, the beer money, that fund stays the same. We're not touching that. It's food, it's like transportation, all that stuff goes down, right? Like. No gas money, no money for anything else. But the beer money, that fund stays on its own. That's our little nest egg for the weekend, I guess. But yeah, like it was like such a different thing. But the fact that everybody lived so close was just like it's so awesome. And like you don't know until it's gone, right? Like I mean I knew, but it's like. You don't know, like you think, oh yeah, like everybody's just gonna stay together, but it's over time that sort of fades away, and maybe you guys are in a different situation. In that case, I'd say that you're like super lucky to be in that situation. Hats off to you, you're living your best life, right? But yeah, as that stuff disappears, as people have to move away for this or that reason, it just gets harder and harder to have those types of experiences. So like, yeah, that you know, back in the day, I wasn't quite the wordsmith, so I probably didn't word it that way. But you know, to me, it's like, come on, dude, like everybody's like living so close to each other. Like, let's hang out together, and like we still play video games. Nazi zombies was a big thing back then, so that used to be like the thing. It's like, let's just hang out and play Nazi zombies, or like run through Super Smash Brothers while getting smashed. Like, let's do something together rather than like online, because online, like you can do that later. You can do that when you're old, right? Like, I'm old. If I talked to myself back then, it'd be like, Serial, you're an old man now. You gotta start looking at retirement homes. I don't feel that way, but that's what I'd say to myself, right? And yeah, it was just like, oh, come on, like hang out with people when they're all around. When everybody's like living in the same area, like that's when you want to chill with everybody. And that's what I'd recommend, right? Like, if you guys are in college right now and you've got all your friends living around you, I guess not now because of COVID, which, yeah, man, that sucks for you guys. That really does. I really do feel for those people that are going through college right now, because you're probably still paying the same amount of money, which is a ripoff. Like, don't get me started on that. That's such a ripoff. Like, that's one of the things too. Like, I always mentally, I always said to myself, like, remember what these things are like, right? Like, remember like college. Like, remember that was like a social experience as much as it was like an educational one, and there is social education that comes from it. But remember that, right? And then at the same time, I said to myself, like, remember things like the drinking age, right? Like, right now, it doesn't matter to me if it's 21 or 18, but like I still want it to be 18, because it's like, that's, you know, you're ripping kids off, you're giving them criminal records for something that really shouldn't be a crime whatsoever. Like, if they can join the military or whatever like that, they should be able to like drink, smoke, do whatever they want. And the fact that the smoking age is going up is something that I disagree with. I don't know. I find it a little ridiculous. It's like, you know, protect the kids, but at the same time, unless things have changed since I was a kid, and I highly doubt it, if you're in college, you can get smokes, you can get alcohol, you can get whatever you want. It's just like, it's an arbitrary age that means that now you're going to get in trouble, right? Like, just, you know, make smart decisions, okay? Like, be responsible about it. Don't drink and drive or anything like that, but let's like lower the drinking age, or at least give states the option to lower it, because it's a little bit ridiculous to babysit people and act like 18's a grown up, but then 21 is when you can drink. Like, come on. You know, if you can go to jail as an adult at 18, you should be able to do everything as an adult at 18. Like, pick an age and leave it at that. And I think 18's a good age to pick. Not like, let's not move everything up to 21. But now I'm getting into politics. I know some people hate that, but I don't think anyone's gonna like duck out because Serial Overdrive thinks the drinking age should be 18. Or hell, make the age of adulthood 21, right? Like, I'll agree to that, because then at least if you get in trouble for drinking when you're underage, which is a misdemeanor, which does go on your criminal record, then at least it would get wiped out when you turn 21, because then you're legally an adult, and that's when all your criminal records get wiped out, right? Like, I don't know. To me, it just seems like something that's like so basic, and I hate the fact that it's not a thing. But yeah, basically, like, I remember what that was like. I remember how much I hated it, and like why I thought it was unfair. And I try to remind myself that periodically, like, Serial, like, just because you're an old man, like, someone still needs to make sure that these things are like kept in check and talk about these things, because I think that's part of the problem, right? Like, you turn 21, it's a non-issue for you, and now you don't care. So I'm like, let's not sit in the sidelines and like stop fighting the good fight or talking the good talk because now it doesn't apply to you. I try to carry that forward, and I think overall, whether you agree or disagree with me on this policy or whatever, you know, to each their own, okay? But I think the moral of the story, like, just sort of remembering how things were for you when you were a kid is important, right? Because it can put you in someone else's shoes, and that's a perspective you should always be able to have. I think that's part of the thing with COVID, right? Like, a lot of people are like, oh man, how come these kids can't stay at home and play video games or something like that? And it's like, well, you know, I remember the experiences I had when I was a kid, and it would be, oh man, if you asked me to give those up, like, it's hard. I know that's what I'd need to do, but I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Like, I can't put myself in kids' shoes nowadays, but, you know, I try to sympathize. And, at the same time, it's like, well, they have older parents, they have older grandparents. Like, that's, it's what they're risking. Man, I don't know how we went that far off, but went sort of into the weeds there. Let's head in and get this quest done. But yeah, hopefully you guys get the moral of the story and what I'm saying. We've run 35 minutes. This video is going long. So yeah, I'm gonna head in and call it here. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was good talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's cool. It really is, like, it's so awesome that I get to share, like, my ideas and sort of experiences with probably, all right, I hate to say it because in a way to me, because again, I remember, like, when I first started, I'm like, man, if I could put out videos that were routinely getting 100 views, that would be awesome. But I think I can comfortably say this video will get like a couple hundred views. And the fact that there's probably a couple hundred people that get to hear my, like, opinions, react to them, and talk back to me about them, it's quite the thing, and I really do like it. And yeah, I love the fact that I can do that. I can make a video like this, and a lot of you guys are gonna stick around, listen, and you'll talk to me. I'll talk to you. We'll see what's up. And also, for those of you guys who are wondering, I know the drinking age is 18 in most of the world. It's just the U.S. where it's 21, but that's what affected me when I was a kid. So that's what I remember. I'm sure if you're an 18-year-old in Germany, right, you'll agree that it should be 18 in the U.S., I guess, or you won't care. Because it's not your problem, and you don't really have a voice in that, What else is going on? I think that's about it. Like, I'm not gonna dive into politics and all that. I mean, you guys, most people know sort of where I stand, and if you don't, it's because you chose not to look into that, I guess. So, is what it is. Definitely don't. I guess, yeah. Real quick, since we're talking about it, I definitely don't agree with all the malarkey that's going on right now. Malarkey, that's an old school word. Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of stuff that could be done much better. But we'll see what November holds for us, and hopefully it'll be a nice new start for the U.S. Or maybe not a new beginning, but like a new chapter. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. But anyways, let's head in. Let's get these skills. Let's get back to Entropia Universe and the topics that involve it. And also, those of you guys who are like, Serial, you need to just talk about Entropia Universe for 30 minutes straight. Like, that is not easy. Do you know how often, like, I used to be doing, I do these videos. I do them, once, I was doing like one a day for a while. And when I'd stray off of Entropia Universe topics, people would be like, Serial, going all over the place. I'm just here for Entropia Universe. Like, that's all I want. It's like, do you think I can do a 45-minute video every day on Entropia Universe, or every week on Entropia Universe? No, I couldn't do that. To ask me to do that is just insane. I mean, some of you guys probably could, right? More power to you if you can, but that is not something that's in my wheelhouse. A 45-minute video on Entropia Universe, it's like, come on. I have a hard time coming up with stuff to say for this long of a period. And you want me to do it on, like, one video game that updates, like, a couple times? Like, significant updates in Entropia Universe happen maybe once a month at most. Probably more like once every 2 to 3 months. And you want me to talk about it, like, a couple times? Like, we'll just be going over the same thing again and again. Like, for Entropia Universe videos like this, basically what I do is I save the first 10 to 20 minutes. I'm just going to talk about Entropia Universe and everything going on there. And then I'm going to jump into whatever topic suits my fancy, and you guys can stick with it, or you can dive off and, get back into the game, or go back to a podcast that you're listening to. Like, that's cool with me. I appreciate everybody who, who listens to anything. Like, if you're just here for the Entropia Universe and you duck out after that, I don't mind. That's cool by me. But yeah, if you stick around for the whole thing, you're definitely, I definitely appreciate that too. I really appreciate that, especially because we go way out there sometimes. Anyways, let's head back in. Let's get these skill gains, and let's call it a day. So you can see level 12 mutant looter profession. So you can see I'm getting other skills too while I'm doing this, which is pretty awesome. And let's see where we're at as far as skill gains go. Look at that. We probably got about 100 skills just in this short little video. And if I popped a skill pill and did some other stuff, I'd probably be able to get much more. And this isn't even counting codex, right? So we'll claim a codex reward here. So there's a lot of options here. I should probably go with perception, but it's such a low amount. I'll probably go with something weird, right? Like, let's get nutty with this. Plasma weapon technology. Clubs. I'm just going for the skill gains here. So let's do inflict melee damage. I think that's going to be useful for me going forward. That's going to be a decent amount of skills here. So yeah, we got 8.7 skills. You can see that. That's why it doesn't really matter. If I go perception, I mean, like 0.2 perception, which doesn't really matter to me. It's just better for me to get those 8 skills. And now let's head in. Let's talk to this guy here. Private Dana, sorry. Snabblesnot female hunting. Universal ammo or rifle skills. What do you guys think? I'm gonna pick rifle skills because I'm guessing the universal ammo would just buy me those rifle skills, so I'm just gonna shortcut it and get my like 0.001 skill points. This is gonna be such a low amount, it's gonna be laughable. I wish they told me how much. Rifle is the ability to use two-handed ranged weapons. Okay. I like the fact that they're firing Nah, you guys can't see what I'm doing here. That's why it'd be nice to have a webcam maybe, but one day. Yeah, it's like, who's over here like just gangster, like shooting their pistol, right? Like one hand? No. I think you're supposed to use two hands when you fire a pistol. At least that's how it's been when I've visited a shooting range like a handful of times in my life. I thought pistols were always still two hands, but maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe a lot of people, once they get good enough, are doing it one-handedly, but I think that's like way off on your accuracy and just bad posture to begin with. But I guess rifles are the only thing you use two-handed here. So let's get those skills. Someone wants to become my disciple. Sure. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I don't know why. But yeah, I guess they're my disciple now. I'll probably message them and just see what's up, because I'm always open to be people's disciples, but they've got to realize I'm not gonna be online that much, and all my best techniques, all my best ideas have been put into these videos. So you don't even need to talk to me. Ooh, we had some expired Terradite ingot. That's not good. And we sold our summer strong boxes. Anyways, folks, that's all I've got for today. So thank you for watching. If you stuck in there for 41 minutes, you are a trooper, and I truly do appreciate it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys had a great time. If you didn't, leave your comments down below. Let me know how I can make it better. I might listen, I might not. If you're going to tell me just to talk about Entropia Universe for 42 minutes, that's ridiculous. I'm cutting it off at the pass here, but you're still going to leave the comment because you probably didn't listen this far in. Anyways, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.